I heard on the Discovery Channel that a dying star in space becomes a black hole, and that is where the origin of black holes come from. They're just collapsed stars that once gave their light in all directions, probably for a very long time, and that these stars exhausted all of the energy that they had, um, giving out the abundance of light until they couldn't anymore, and they collapse. And after they collapse, I found it interesting how they become, these stars become their complete opposite, where they go from giving light, maybe even giving warmth to the planets that orbit them, to becoming, in their death, the total opposite of what they were in consuming, taking all that surrounds them. Black holes exist in space, literally with the power to suck in the light particles that are within their reach, and all the material that surrounds them. They're all consuming, never satisfied. And that revelation kind of reminded me of the mindset or attitude that we as people can have too. That we can either be stars or suns, which give abundantly from the light that we have producing inside of us, or we can be like black holes, where we just take and consume. Black holes are so abysmally, they're so abysmally black that light can't even escape. And they just have no reflection either. They don't even give the light which is given them back. They eat that too. And I think that attitude of ever consuming and never giving, never creating, but always taking, that attitude is probably the opposite of what faith means. I would say that at the first level, faith is like the moon, in that you reflect the light that the sun gives off of the surface, off of your self. You reflect what's given to you to begin with. But I would say that the real fulfillment of faith is to be like a star or a sun, where you actually not just reflect the light that comes, but produce the light and shine upon others. You give back, and that reference is given a lot, and probably a lot of scriptures. I know it is in the New Testament. There was a teacher that I heard of and that I sometimes listened to who used it, who said it in a different way, and he said that it's ideal, basically, to have an attitude of being in abundance and always giving, and not to be a taker, someone that always seeks and pursues and needs and wants, but to be detached and to be complete, if not generous. Not just your own completion, but to be generous in the way that you shine for others. And I think that's a really important thing. And I was just giving some thought on the whole nature of like the things about the cosmos and the stars and black holes. And I thought that was an interesting thing. But how exactly do you go about doing that? What does it mean to live through the abundance within yourself? One example might be in the form of forgiveness. That it's abundant to forgive, to let go and just lead with compassion, to just lead with forgiveness and compassion rather than expecting to receive and to try to take revenge or retribution or even bitterness and resentment. Because as that one teacher I talked about said, you are to act like an emperor. An emperor has it all, or a son has it all, and gives from their abundance the ease of forgiveness. They don't have an inclination toward petty things. They don't chase. They don't yearn. But they're complete already. So the sun doesn't merely reflect, but gives the light. And I think if we had more of that, everything would be illuminated. If everyone gave, and this culture of consumerism, the constant lack, the constant needing to fill something and fulfill something within yourself that cannot be fulfilled, because like a black hole, it's seemingly infinite. It's, I don't know if unfulfillable is a word, but it's insatiable. And that's not how an emperor or a sun, which has what it needs and more, wouldn't seek to fill something empty inside. I think that's a real attribute, a real virtue, or a value of faith. And that's important to adopt and to let happen within yourself, knowing that it's already there to be had, that you need only seek and you'll find it. It's already there. The treasure, so to speak, the light, has been there all along. And that you don't need. So those are some reflections on that.